Welcome everybody to another exciting StarCraft 2 broadcast. This time we're going to be kicking off a best-of-3 series from the North America BattleNet Invitational between EG.IdrA spawning as the Blue Zerg down in the 6 o'clock position against who is currently seen as EG.HuK spawning as the Red Protoss in the 8, but as we now know today as of August 16th, 2011, he is now known as EG.HuK. That's right folks. HuK has switched over to Team Evil Geniuses after fulfilling, I think, pretty much all of his contract with Team Liquid. I'm pretty sure that EG bought up the rest of it, which I think was pretty cool of him, actually. So definitely a lot of respect going in between those two teams. Speaking of respect, there is a farewell letter from Liquid Nazgul. There's one from HuK, and there's also a welcome letter from EG over at Team Liquid's website and also EG's website as well. So you can be sure to check that out. I don't want to say it was I'll just say it was kind of an emotional thing, because you could definitely tell that HuK felt a deep connection based on what he wrote in his farewell letter, growing close to that team. I mean, after a year of playing like that, going through as much as he did, I'm sure that he would establish some great friendships there. So I'm just happy to see that everything is working out as well as it can as HuK continues to pursue what he feels is in his own best interests, and of course, best interests of everybody involved. So we'll continue on here with the match that I feel would be appropriate. And we're going to have EG.IdrA pretty much opening up here. You see he's got the spawning pool going down first. We'll wait and see what happens next. He looks like he's actually going to be going for Extractor. So with the Extractor after the pool, not going to have enough gas for that metabolic boost. Maybe going for some type of early roach play or something like that. I mean, these guys are close by ground, and one thing I want to point out here is that HuK, before his first gateway is even complete, has thrown down 2 geysers. This is very indicative of some kind of tech play. Now, whether it be air harassment, which I feel is more likely, or going down some other tech route, such as Dark Templar, remains to be seen. But I feel, again, like I said before, that air is the likely choice out of the 2. Again, given the spawning positions, I mean, hey, there's 2 seconds and he's already inside of the Zerg space. So we'll see what happens here as the cybernetic score has dropped down. And looking in EG.IdrA's base, we see, of course, still working on getting that gas going. And there's the drone down for the expansion as well. Going to see that going down a little bit delayed than, say, a 15 hatch, but that's all right. That's all right. So now that HuK has a few Zerglings in the field, you see he's going to go and try to watch the check the control the Xel'Naga watchtowers, maybe pop up and do a little bit of scouting up in HuK's base. But again, that Overlord is present. You see it's now starting to float away, realizing that cybernetic score is just about complete. There's that Zealot, nice position there, and a Sentry's on the way, making use of that early gas that he had managed to get himself. Now, as we do approach 146, 150 gas, now's going to be the telltale sign. What's he going to do is my camera flips like, okay, so we are indeed going to have a 1-gate Stargate build. Again, this is not at all unexpected, judging by what we've seen so far in this build, and I feel it could really give HuK an early advantage, but EG.IdrA, you know, he is working on a second queen down here. Once this hatchery is complete, he's going to be able to build a third, and he's also going to connect the creep there. As you see, Creep Tumor reading my mind, going down as we speak. EG.IdrA sitting in a very good spot right now. Okay, working on that delayed metabolic boost upgrade. I guess he realized that, well, you know, not really realized. I mean, the man is definitely completely in control of the game. But, you know, opening up with that gas, a little bit delayed, it allows for things like roach play if necessary when fighting against early pressure. Or, if you don't end up having to build those roaches, you can dump it into that metabolic boost and gain map control a little bit easier. Do a nice little bit of containment with the Protoss player. Now, let's see what we have going on down here. We have 1 Stargate chrono boosting out the Void Ray. Now, we can take a look at the targets here. We see 1 Overlord, 2, 3, just pretty much kind of out of range of any Spore Crawler defense that EG.IdrA could hope to place out here. But notice he's also focusing on several Zerglings here. He kind of cut drone production for a tiny bit, working primarily on getting his expansion up and running. You could see a couple of Overlords coming down the way, as well as a Spore Crawler. Again, anticipating that harassment, we can just spot his vision here real quick as he approaches HuK. He manages to almost get a surround in the probe. Yes, he does indeed nail it, but look at that force field, blocking in a couple Zerglings that are basically just running around, can't do anything but attack that Zealot. Another force field going down. The nice thing about HuK being able to have this Sentry so early is that it was able to build up a lot of energy in anticipation for some early pressure by EG.IdrA. We can see that was not very successful. They lost a lot of Zerglings so far. It was 150 to 225. as he's going to be making another approach. Oh, but another force field goes down and blocks the Zerglings from escaping, giving HuK an even greater lead here in the early game. The Zerglings are hanging out just outside, again, maybe waiting to see what's HuK going to do. Is HuK going to try to push out with the forces and harass the expansion? If so, having these lings here would be good to deny natural expansion or do a run-by. But you see HuK is playing a little bit more conservatively here, and instead going to continue harassing with the Void Rays, and now Phoenix in the main base. There is a Spore Crawler going down. We do already have one here. 2 Queens currently present on the field, one of which has been lifted up. Oh man, this could spell trouble for EG.IdrA. You see he is indeed quite supply blocked. That Void Ray is fully charged. Second one working on it. However, some nice micro by HuK will allow him to keep this Void Ray alive and secure at least for a little while longer, leaving this one Queen with 10 hit points so very close. And you see, oh no, didn't see the Spore Crawler there. Think the Overlord was actually hanging out on top of it. Otherwise, he might not have actually tried to engage there. But we see now that HuK has forced a very heavy anti-air response. He's hoping to come in and possibly do some damage with the ground forces here. Let's see what he can do. There is one Queen up here, I think. No, it looks like it's down there, but the Spore Crawlers are up top, and one force field could be enough to block it here. Interesting force field placement right there. You can see that the Queen almost got blocked off, but now the Zerglings are running through, and you see HuK now using the force fields to his own great advantage, allowing him to basically take a position where his sentries would not get completely surrounded by the Zerglings. And despite that, he still does, unfortunately for him, lose those Zealots. EG.IdrA is still definitely in the game here, 39-49. We could just see the income. Look at that, man, 28-37. So if EG.IdrA is able to hold off this early pressure, he will be in a vastly superior position moving on. But HuK does have this expansion here set up as well, and both players are still floating on a couple hundred minerals right now. But with this Void Ray harassment, it is going to continue to keep EG.IdrA down, forcing away the harassing units. Although it's interesting that Phoenix could have actually lifted up that Queen there, and as we can see, there is no other Queen, just one, I believe. Yes, there is a second one currently building, but overall, HuK really established dominance there in the early part. You see he has managed to keep up here in terms of income expansions, 30-39, definitely working on that. And of course, those Zerglings coming in here and seeing, okay, I could do a little bit of harassment with the Zerglings, but no, not really going to be that effective. HuK is so close to the main, or to the wall off right here, that couldn't really do anything. So now we have HuK checking for that third base, pretty much relegating this Void Ray to the role that it should be in, passive harassment. Doesn't really want to try to engage here at the Zerg base anymore because he knows the Queens are rebuilding, the Spore Crawlers are probably going to be in greater numbers here. But look at what EG.IdrA is doing. He's opening himself up a great opportunity for harassment inside of possibly HuK's main base. I think this is a great move. Oh, look at those force fields going down, blocking off a lot of the Zerglings. Fantastic surround by the Zealots, allowing HuK to secure even more kills, moving in past the 10-minute mark of the game, 11-minute, excuse me. I really do feel that HuK is just in pretty darn good command of this game. You see he's got that pylon well positioned at the top of his, or at the side of his base, allowing him quick access to warp in those units very close to EG.IdrA's base. Approaching the creep now. Excuse me. Oh, I'm dying there. EG.IdrA does know of the fact that this attack is coming. He is going to be losing that Overlord there. You see 79-92. HuK is definitely taking a supply lead. And there goes the force field. Those drones will not be escaping at all. Those Hydras can only shoot right here at the close to the ramp. But that's going to be about it. Another fantastic force field going down. EG.IdrA not really able to do anything here at this point other than try to micro these few Hydralisks over here, managing to take out the Void Ray, which is a very good move. He needed to have that go down oh so bad. But now he is going to be losing this this expansion possibly with these Hydralisks just run around, not able to do anything. Another perfect force field going down, again blocking the Hydras, and now the Stalkers, those ranged support units who are able to deal with this quantity of Hydras, have arrived. Combine that with the Guardian Shield there, and you're really going to give EG.IdrA a run for his money in what could be the final moments of the battle. There's the GG, giving HuK game number 1 as we continue to watch these guys fight it out. Okay, well, we're at 12 minutes or 13 minutes now. Tell you what, let's just pause it for now and discuss kind of post-game really quick. That was a fantastic play by Liquid HuK. I really don't feel that EG.IdrA was quite ready. I think he knew that some air was coming, and of course that's pretty much the standard for this matchup, to air harass or hallucination. He saw that double gas there, so he knew he was going to be facing that kind of tech play. And he responded appropriately, but just was not able to keep off the pressure. HuK, very well known for his aggressive play style, pushed it forward right here and secured himself a victory. So let's go on to game number 2, North American Battle.net Invitational. Again, show some support for EG.HuK.